is a meeting of the zoning board of appeals. And our agenda tonight is 7 o'clock to call to order. Miscellaneous approval of September 15th minutes, whereas we did not have a meeting in October or November. And new business at 7:05 will be case number 1704, 414 Haverhill Street. This time I would appoint Donna Thibodeau to fill in for Peter Carpentier, who was absent tonight. So she'll be sitting in on this hearing. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. And you all had a chance to read the minutes?
Yep.
Previous minutes. And so, accept the motion to accept the minutes.
Yep. When you make a motion to accept the minutes.
David made the motion to
Second.
accept the minutes, and Bob has seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay. I don't think there's going to be anybody else coming here tonight on this cold, windy night.
Well, I could have somebody right there who's coming in, but I don't know who it is.
Okay.
But, I mean, you guys expecting anybody?
We'll wait
There
another
should be two other people coming.
No, I don't know. I just won't take any.
I'm ready to go.
I'll fire them both here for being late.
Yes. I think we're all set to go. It's just people.
Sure.
Ready?
I'll let you know. Sit down. Sit down. If someone else is coming, I gotta wait.
He doesn't miss not having anybody come in tonight.
I got a memo.
Is he here late for a reason?
Sometimes he does work late.
There's not a shellfish meeting tonight, is there?
There might be.
Yeah, let me check. I think we know who's coming. There he is, whoever it is.
He's the gentleman in the position. I remember the hearing.
Ed, you Ed,
Right here.
how do you pronounce your last name?
Jiralowitz.
Giralowitz.
Good.
I once pronounced
Good
it.
as I can do.
Okay. Public hearing for case number 1704, for an application received from Ed Jiralowitz from Gateway Trust 2, requesting a special permit for the zoning board of appeals for the installation of 2 non-illuminated wall signs is now open. I ask the cooperation following this procedure. Everyone present will be given an opportunity to be heard after the application is presented, and the board members have asked questions. The secretary will be recording what is said. Therefore, when you address the board, begin by stating your name and address. Speak slowly and clearly. Only one person will be allowed to speak at a time. Now, does any member of the board have any conflict of interest on this case? No?
No.
Hearing none, we will continue. Public notice of this application was posted at the town hall, sent to a certified list of parties in interest, and published in the town common on November 30th, 2016, and December 7th, 2016, and reads as follows. Case number 1704. A public hearing will be held at the Town Hall Annex, 39 Central Street on Thursday, December 15, 2016, at 7:10 p.m. to act on an application received November 14, 2016, from Ed Geralowitz on behalf of Gateway Trust 2 of 1997, John E. Coughlin and Joseph Coughlin, trustees. Applicant is requesting a special permit from the Board of Appeals to install 2 non-illuminated wall signs, 3 feet by 10 feet. Property is located at 414 Halo Street, Raleigh, Mass. The property is in the Business Light Industrial District and is shown on Assessors Map 14, Block 34, Lot 1. At the public hearing, members of the public may be asked questions and present evidence that supports either the approval or denial of this petition. The purpose of this hearing is for the board to hear and consider the pertinent facts relating to the application and to approve the conditions or deny. Before hearing from the public, any applicant will be allowed to present their case, and then board members will be allowed to ask questions or comment. Okay, the application is as follows. The applicant is Ed Geralowitz. Mailing address, P.O. Box 3106, Beverly, Mass. 01915. And ownership of the property is Gateway to Trust of 1997, John E. Coughlin and Joseph P. Coughlin, trustees. We're asking for a special permit of variance from the requirements of section 8.4 to 5.1 of the Raleigh Protective Zoning Bylaw. Raleigh Assessors Map 14, Block 34, Lot 1. And he's got here premises in the zoning district. He's got this checked off for retail. It's a business light industrial,
It is.
isn't it?
It is.
I'll change that. The deed is recorded in Essex Registry of Deeds, South District, in book number 33597, page 527. And it has not on a special permit zoning relief from this property. Yes, it has. I got that checked, yes. Description of proposed work and use: install 2 non-illuminated signs 3 feet by 10 feet that are larger than allowed by the bylaw. The reason for the request are as follows. The zoning bylaw allows wall signs of only 10 square feet. At this size, the signs are too small to be readable from the parking lot. The tenant North Shore Physician Group provides primary care and specialty care services to their patients. In addition, they will be providing X-ray, mammography, and bone density services to their patients and patients from outside the practice. The primary and specialty care practice and the X-ray, mammography, and bone density practice are separate entities with separate entrances. It is important that patients be able to locate the correct entrance so that they can park as close as possible. Patients looking for these services often are not in the best of health. Illness, injury, or simply age can make it difficult to walk any distance. Eyesight may be poor. Going through the wrong entrance and being required to walk to the other will be a burden for some to overcome. This situation creates a substantial hardship on those medical practices. Sides of the building and multiple entrances. A third entrance for an independent medical practice also exists. Multiple buildings on the lot and large parking areas on both sides of the building all contribute to special conditions that affect the land. Granting this variance will not cause substantial detriment to the public good and will actually contribute in a positive way to the public good by making their visit to the doctor easier. Granting this variance will not nullify or substantially derogate from the intent of the zoning bylaw. We have a comment from the fire department. Raleigh Fire Department has no objections to the installation of these two non-illuminated signs at 414 Cable Street. And we have one from the town planner. He writes, the board doesn't have any comment on the application for the wall signs. I would note that the planning board unanimously approved the illuminated freestanding sign at its December 7th meeting. The selectmen, this is another one from the selectmen. The selectmen reviewed the application to the ZBA for a special permit for two non-illuminated signs at 414 Halo Street, and they did not have any comments on it. And we have one here from the health department. The health department has reviewed the provided application and plan. There are no comments or concerns. And we are working under Section 8451, which reads, each business within a building will be allowed to have 10 square feet of sign area attached to the building. Total area of a freestanding sign shall not exceed 80 square feet in area. The maximum area shall not exceed 5% of projected vertical area of the side of the building facing the street. Maximum area equals 0.05 height/length, where H and L are the height and length, and the building expressed in feet, whichever is greater. Okay, I have a copy here of the approval from the planning board.
That's all part of it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Ed Jaralowitz. I'm from United Sign Company, 33 Tosha Road in Beverly, and I'm here tonight on behalf of Gateway 2 Trust. John Coughlin is here with us tonight, and North Shore Medical Center, Rich Cantor, the project manager, and the practice manager from North Shore Physicians Group, Jackie Quinn, is also here. You covered a lot of my points, reading the application there too, but I'll just go back over a couple points. They have two separate practices here. One of them will be providing primary care and specialty care, regular doctor services to people, and they're on the far right entrance. And the center entrance on this building is their radiology, and they'll be providing x-rays, mammography, and bone density testing at that location. Not all people will be going to one, and not all people will go into the other. So we have the need to clearly define which entrance is which for both practices. In addition, there's a third practice that as of this time, I don't know that there's anyone set to go in there too. And on the drawing, you can see, we planned this out so that there was space left for a sign for that third tenant. So the whole point of the larger sign is at 10 square feet. These signs are pretty small, and from the parking lot, people are going to have difficulty reading them, getting to the right entrance. For some of us, it might not be a problem if you go to one door and you have to go down to the other, but as you go to these doctor's offices, you see there's a lot of people there. They're coming in on crutches. They have walkers. It's difficult to go, if they go to the wrong location, it's a burden on them to have to, go another 50 feet to go to the right entrance. So we're just trying to get these people to the right entrance so that they can see their doctor or get their x-rays, whatever they're there for. And I do have a question. Are we looking for a special permit or a variance to be granted?
It's a special.
It is a special permit, okay. All right, I had written it up for, as it was, a variance, but, for a special permit, I think we meet the requirements here. I believe that these signs, even though they're larger than they're allowed, are in harmony with the purpose of the sign ordinance. Usually the reason for restricting size of the sign is for a couple of reasons, for aesthetics and to limit unnecessary copy on a sign. We're putting on these signs just what people need to see from the parking lot. We're identifying the practice as North Shore Physicians Group, and then we're telling them which services are there, so they'll know if they're going for their doctor for primary care, they go to that entrance. If they're coming here for an x-ray, they go to this entrance. The size of the signs themselves, it's a dark blue color with white letters, and it's got a great contrast to it, so it's very readable for people to see. Okay, so that I'd say for a good 150 feet, these will be readable for people in the parking lot, whereas the 10 square foot sign wouldn't meet that requirement. Granting a special permit would not adversely affect the neighborhood. We're simply trying to identify the entrance people are going to, and allowing the larger signs would not create any nuisance or hazards. The signs are non-illuminated and don't take up any city or any town resources. Thank you.
Okay. You said you want 2 signs, but you mentioned possibly a third.
Well, when we designed them out, we would actually have liked larger signs, but Mr. Coughlin's got a third tenant going in there, so there wasn't room on the gable to the left to fit 2 larger signs. So from an aesthetic standpoint, we made it so 3 by 10 signs would fit there, but we're not asking for anything for that third sign. I'm just pointing out that we did leave the area, for the third tenant, and that if the tenant does decide to come in and want that, then the signs will all be in balance. It'll be the same size, and from an aesthetic standpoint, I think it'll look a lot nicer.
Do you have a picture of the sign?
Oh, they're right here.
It's this,
These are the signs.
Oh, that's it there.
That's the
you
actual
see where
sign.
they want to put them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking at top instead of.
Yeah.
finger.
Yeah.
Okay, my point is, okay, so you're asking for 1 for here, and 1 for here,
Correct.
and that's gonna be left open.
That's to be determined.
Okay.
Anyone that wants that would have to come in. We're not asking for anything for that, but I just pointed out that we did leave the space on
Why
there.
aren't you?
Yeah,
Why doesn't it have a tenant?
Right now,
You expect to have a tenant,
I would hope so, yes.
right, okay.
That's a
and you-
hope.
And you're gonna want a sign for it,
That's exactly right.
right, so why don't you?
Well,
ask
we
them?
think we want a sign, but I would think any tenant that we put in there is gonna want signage typical to what Ed has put together, and I think he's done a real nice job with it. So our point would be, future tenant comes in there, which we have a tenant that I think is going in there, that we would, with them taking the lead, this would kind of dictate what they would have to tie into the
So
facade.
again, you want to distinguish the door. So
Exactly.
If you wanted to grant a special permit for 3 3x10 signs, we don't object to that. But we are just asking from a representative of North Shore Physicians Group and North Shore Medical Center, we're just asking for the 2.
That's, and he's exactly right, that's what they're here for tonight, to get your blessing on that. Our point would be, we have a tenant, we've kind of held off because we're trying to get the work done up there before we move forward with them. We would dictate, we'd strongly recommend that they follow the same signage criteria that's been laid out, because I think the buildings are attractive, they look good up there, and we'd want to keep the same format.
But it's still, you could either,
Okay. I mean, you've got 2 buildings there. You've got the big one with all the doctor's offices. and
Right.
everything. And then you've got a building in back. Are you gonna want signs for that?
That would be up to the tenant to come before you. Right now,
All right.
that is leased out, it's a daycare center, they are moving in, and signage is their responsibility.
Okay.
So if my understanding would be in discussions with the building inspector, if they did anything that exceeded the signage, they'd have to come before you. If they stayed within the zoning regs, I guess he can approve the signage, but that's be something they'd be handled, just like Ed's here representing his client tonight.
Okay, my other question is, you've got 2 blue signs, and it's possible that your new tenant may want a red one.
Possible, yeah.
All right, because the blue goes with the doctor's office and the red one goes to something else. Am I right?
They could ask that, but we could also say in the same token, once we look at it, we might want to keep all the signage uniform.
Right.
In a perfect world, we own some other pieces of real estate. I'd rather not see a sign on a building, but I do realize that people in order to conduct business need signage. So we're pretty critical about what we allow for signage and so forth. And I had thought that, in looking over Ed's, I think he's done a great job, and it's very tasteful and was well received by us.
From our standpoint, we would actually prefer if those colors are part of the Partners Organization, and Mass General, Brigham Women's, North Shore Medical Center, all use that same color combination. So people looking for it, a lot of times, they just simply need to see that light blue shield and the dark blue background,
right.
and they know they've arrived at their destination. If someone went in there that wasn't part of Partners, we prefer that they didn't follow that color scheme, because we don't want people thinking that this
That's
dentist,
right.
you know,
Okay, I got you, okay. You've answered my questions.
No, I think that we would like, I'm sorry, Rich Cantor, 30 Hill Road, South Hamilton, Mass. I would think that it would be at the discretion of Mr. Coughlin, the building owner, and we would like to have part of it, but certainly identity is important, but I would like to see uniformity. I don't know where I don't know actually where we're going with this.
Okay, no, I can understand, if you had 3 blue signs up there, which is your medical part, and somebody had a blue sign and wasn't part of the medical, there may be some confusion. So
correct.
I would forget all that I've said about getting a 3rd sign. We'll cross that bridge when it comes.
Thank you, sir.
I understand now what's going on.
And I'm glad I heard that, because I'd probably be telling somebody they had to go to a blue side, and I'd be doing directly opposite what our client wants. So it's good that I sat here tonight and picked that up.
So, any questions?
no, I like it. I think it makes
This-
sense.
Yeah, I have a question. Is this the
Anybody-
typical
anybody
sign
else?
size on some of the other North Shore Medical Group buildings in the North Shore?
They're probably smaller. We just did 2 of their offices on Highland Avenue in Salem, and they're 3.5 feet by 25 feet.
Oh,
So,
gotcha. Okay.
and a lot of that becomes part of the scale distance people are seeing it at. And here we try to scale to the building and be able to fit 3 uniform signs, so. If
Just
you
trying to
wanna give us
imagine where I've seen it
25-foot
before.
signs, I mean, we'll take them, but we're not asking for them.
Okay, so you're asking for 2 signs, 3 by 10.
3 foot by 10 foot, 2 signs, correct.
Okay.
Make a motion, as presented. Do the 2 signs, 3 by 10. The non-lit, so.
Okay.
Okay.
That's, the motion's been made to accept, to grant the decision.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much.
Stay out of the cold. It's gonna get worse.
Thank you.
Yeah, really.
It is for a couple days.
Thank you very much.
Decision.
Thank you very much. Partners.
Okay. Do we have any other business to come before the board?
I know. Sorry.
Yeah, I make a motion, we adjourn. I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This is the first
We are adjourned.